Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about Eldegoss, the Cotton Bloom Pokemon, one of the supporters in Pokémon Unite. Today we'll be diving into the basics of Eldegoss kit and how they work in the game. This is something new I'm doing on my channel, so if you like these kinds of videos or would like to see more in the future, please like and subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon for future updates. All of the information in this video is taken from UniteDB, which is the database for all things Unite. Please go and support the wonderful people who got this information for us to use. The link in the website will be in the description. So now let's get into the video. Eldegoss is a ranged special attack supporter. At level 1, they are a Glossifer, and it learns their first moves at level 1 and level 3. At level 4, Glossifer evolves into Eldegoss and learns its first ability. At level 6, Eldegoss learns their secondary ability, and at level 9, it learns its Unite move. Note that only auto attacks can critically strike, and Eldegoss has a 0% base critical hit rate at all levels. First up, Eldegoss's basic auto attack becomes a boosted attack with every third attack, attaching a bit of cotton fluff to the enemy. Eldegoss's auto attack against an enemy with cotton fluff on it deal increased damage and decreases the enemy movement speed by 15% for 1.5 seconds. This auto attack is really good at dealing a lot of consistent damage to enemies with the cotton fluff effect on them. Also, each auto attack that hits enemies with the cotton fluff effect is slowed, which constantly makes it harder for the opposing team to move away from you. One of the first moves you can learn is Leafage. Eldegoss shoots a bundle of leaves that explode on the first enemy hit, damaging and slowing movement speed by 40% for 2 seconds in an area. Leafage is a great early game move that does decent damage and also applies a slow for 2 seconds. This slow is much heavier than the auto attack slow, so try to hit enemies and wild Pokemon with the lowest health to secure the points and possibly a knockout on the enemy team. One of the other first moves you can learn is Synthesis. Eldegoss uses sunlight to heal himself and nearby allies. This move is very simple. Just remember that any ally in range of this move will be healed. So if you see a low teammate, don't be afraid to use it. It could save a life. Next, let's move to Eldegoss's passive, Cotton Down. When receiving 5% max HP as damage in a single attack, recover HP, deal revenge damage, and decrease that enemy's movement speed by 15% for 1.5 seconds. This ability has a 10-second cooldown. One key thing to remember is that this passive only activates when a certain amount of damage is received in one attack. So if an attack does not deal 5% of Eldegoss's HP, it will not activate, so keep that in mind when you are approaching enemies. Now let's get into the good stuff. The first level 4 ability is Pollen Puff. Eldegoss throws a puff of pollen, which attaches to any Pokemon it touches. After 2 seconds, the puff will explode, damaging enemies and healing allies around it. The move's upgraded effect is, if attached to an enemy, the puff will deal damage over time. If attached to an ally, it will reduce the damage they receive by 20% for 2 seconds. Pollen Puff is one of Eldegoss's main attacking moves that also heals. Using this move will let you attack the enemy and also heal your allies at the same time. One thing to know is if you ever miss Pollen Puff on an enemy or ally, the puff will stay on the ground in one place. The puff will still go off, but the activation for it is shorter. Also, the move's upgraded effect has a dot, which means damage over time, and it has damage reduction as well. An easy way to remember the upgraded effects: if you use it on an enemy, it's more damage. If used on teammates, less damage is taken. Note in this instance how Pollen Puff was missed, but it still appeared on the ground to deal damage and heal. As you can see, when it was used on the Aegislash, it stuck to him, dealing damage and healing Eldegoss at the same time. The other ability you can learn at level 4 is Leaf Tornado. Eldegoss conjures a tornado full of leaves, which damages enemies and creates a gust of wind that increases the movement speed of allies that touches it by 55% for 1.5 seconds. When a tornado reaches max distance, it damages enemies near it a second time. The move's upgraded effect is, Enemies hit by the tornado will miss all of their auto attacks for 2.5 seconds. Leaf Tornado is an amazing ability that deals damage, provides your team with movement speed, and debuffs the opposing team. One thing to note is that Leaf Tornado hits enemies twice, and the second hit of the move does less damage than the first. The move's upgraded effect is really strong as well. If you hit an opposing Pokemon with an upgraded Leaf Tornado, all of their auto attacks will miss. This is really strong against heavy auto attackers like Cinderace, Decidueye, and Greninja, who really rely on their auto attacks for damage. Cotton Guard. Eldegoss creates barriers out of cotton, granting Eldegoss and all nearby allies a shield for 3 seconds. When the shield expires, it restores HP equal to 15% of the remaining shield value. This move's upgraded effectives also increases Eldegoss' movement speed by 30% for 2 seconds. Cotton Guard is your normal shielding ability. This move excels in team fights since you provide your team with protection and heals. When this move is enhanced, it provides Eldegoss with movement speed as well. Using this move can really get you and your teammates out of a pinch, so be sure to share the love with everybody. The alternative move to Cotton Guard is Cotton Spore. Eldegoss channels for 2 seconds, gathering spores while increasing its movement speed by 30% for 2 seconds. At the end of the channel, the spores are released, damaging and throwing nearby enemies into the air for 0.5 seconds, then slowing their movement speed by 30% for 2 seconds when they land. This move upgraded effectives. Eldegoss gains 40% increased defense and special defense while channeling. If you ever wanted to deal more damage while providing a bit more utility, Cotton Spore is for you. Cotton Spore deals damage to anything in the move's radius and provides you with a little knockup at the end of the cast. Cotton Spore is a channeling move, meaning that while this move is active, Eldegoss will not be able to perform any other actions until the move is over. As you can see here, while this move is active, Eldegoss is unable to score until the move is over. So keep this in mind when trying to score while enemies are around you, so you won't end up back to your base sooner than later. Finally, at level 9, Eldegoss will unlock their Unite move called Cotton Cloud Crash. Eldegoss floats into the air for 3 seconds, becoming invincible and increasing movement speed by 10% for 6 seconds. If used again or after 3 seconds, pound to the ground, attacking and shoving enemies for 0.7 seconds while restoring HP to Eldegoss and allies in a radius. This move makes Eldegoss untouchable during its duration in the air. When they come down, this move does damage and shove enemy Pokemon and at the same time heal allied Pokemon in the same area. So use this move to sustain your team and prevail in your matches. Hopefully after watching this video, you are ready to master this soft and lovely supporter in Pokémon Unite. Eldegoss is one of many Pokemon in this game that really support the team very well and can turn the tides in battle. This Pokemon is very mobile and can get to places very quickly. Also, remember that Eldegoss is a special attacker in Unite, so be wise when selecting items for this Pokemon to bring out the best Eldegoss you can. So go and grab the Unite license and try it out for yourself, and continue to improve your skills here on AL's Island.